a trip to Italy. And for them, that was a special dream for them that they've achieved. Reminds me of a saying about two men that are in a prison. Two men were looking out through the bars. One man saw the mud, the other the stars. I want to introduce you to two great friends of ours and two fellow star dreamers, Sandy and Dian Zezima.
Buongiorno, come sta? Here we are at Dream Weekend. I can't believe it. Every time it gets bigger and better. I told somebody the other day, one of my neighbors, they stopped in and I said, we're going to Dream Weekend. They said, oh, where is it? I said, in New Jersey. They said, New Jersey? What kind of a Dream Weekend is that? I said, it could have been Nebraska. Ordinary people just don't understand that it doesn't matter where we are. But whenever the IDA team gets together, we lift up each other's spirits. And we gain strength from each other. And we can transform any place into a magical dream. Just look at this place. It's beautiful. It's bright, it shines, it shimmers. The sun, the moon, the stars. And you can have it all. It looks like the room theory was in here again. She made this room into the perfect place to have a dream. And I'll tell you, it's great. Has everybody checked in? All their rooms good?
Yeah.
It's really nice because when we checked in yesterday, this cute little hair dryer on the wall in the bathroom. You all got that, right? You got that big mirror that shows every flaw in your skin. You got that, right? And the jacuzzi was nice, too. You all got a jacuzzi, right? No?
No.
Well, I think I got a jacuzzi. Either that or my shower's really messed up. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Sandy and I want to wish everyone a wonderful, prosperous, exciting new year. Last year was a perfect year for us. We realized a few dreams that we had for a long time. I got a new car. This was a great one. I got a Sunday night standing reservation for the whole family at Cafe Stefano's, which was a biggie for me. And then I got a trip to Italy. Sandy got a couple things too. We got to ride in a gondola. Whatever floats your boat. Anyway, dreams are different for everybody. And I don't remember all the dreams I had when we first got into the business, but I do remember some of them. I wanted to be able to sleep until I was finished, or at least until 9 o'clock, whichever came first. Now, I know that that sounds decadent to some of you. I still remember when I used to roll into bed, kiss the pillow, and roll out. And by 9 o'clock, after they were shot. But now I have that option, and I exercise it frequently. Not because I don't have anything better to do, but because I don't have to do some of the things I used to have to do, like cooking and cleaning. You know, but I'm sure that doesn't turn anybody on. I don't know what your dream is. Maybe you don't know either. But by the time this weekend is over, I'm sure you'll have a real good idea. Maybe Barbara's new sable coat will get you excited. I don't know, but if you haven't seen it, go touch it. I remember thinking about dreams, and I would think about it, and all I could come up with was, gee, 10 years from now, I don't know. All I want to do is be comfortable. Now, to me, being comfortable meant that I could do what I want, when I want, and not having to worry about how much it cost. That was being comfortable. So I guess I must be comfortable, because we went to Italy, I took 3 suitcases. I came home with 7. So that was pretty comfortable. The trip to Italy was a special dream. It was one that kept Sandy striving for his health for a long time. Because he always said he wanted to see Italy before he died. So don't get excited. He can't die yet. We only saw half. We only saw northern Italy. So that's only half the dream. We still have to go back to see the rest. And as always, the reality was better than the dream could have ever been. I know when you dream about having a new car and you visualize it in your driveway and you think about what it's going to be like, you have it pictured on your refrigerator and you have a picture of it in your bathroom and you want that new car. But the day you get in it, turn the key and smell smell the newness and drive it out of the showroom, that's better than the dream could have ever been. And that's how it was with Italy, with us. And the reason is because the people in IDA made it so special. It was like having family in a foreign country. They were warm, friendly, and full of surprises. They were no different from all of us. Life is not a problem to be solved. It's a reality to be experienced. Dreams, that's what life is made of. The great thing in this world is not so much where we are, but the direction and where we're headed, which we're headed. So, dreams keep us looking ahead and not behind. And when I was preparing for this weekend, my grandkids came over. And I was in the bedroom doing things, and they were asking me, Mom, Di, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm getting ready for Dream Weekend. I'm packing our clothes, getting my speech ready. And they're saying, Dream Weekend? And I said, what do you do there? I said, well, we go, we talk about dreams. And when Zach said, are you going to tell them what you dreamt last night? And I said, no, it's not that kind of dreams. It's dreams about like what we want to be and what we want to do. And the little guy was getting tired of this conversation. He turned to me and says, why don't you dream like everybody else? Asleep. I guess we're not like everybody else. I think we're different. We're dreamers. And I don't know what your dream is. Maybe it's to travel, have a nice car, have a vacation home, or be able to educate your children, or just to have a household manager. It doesn't matter how big or how small your dream is. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of your dream. As long as you dream it, you believe it, you plan for it, you work toward it, and then you'll have it. We love being a part of this exciting IDA organization, and we want to thank all of you for the part that you played in making our dreams become a reality. But most of all, we want to thank the founders of IDA, Pete and Barbara Mance, for giving us the inspiration, the courage, and the opportunity to become more than we thought we could be. When we left for Italy, from Italy to come home, they asked us to please give them some words of wisdom. And I will tell you today what I told them. There's nothing magical. It's work hard, play hard, and dream big. Make this your perfect year. God bless. Here's Sandy.
Kind of keeps me humble, don't you guys? I tell you, tough act to follow, but she's a great gal, and we've lived a hell of a lifestyle in the last 20-some-odd years. And I'm not going to go back and talk about the cars, the homes, the vacations, the trips, and all that. I'm going to talk about Italy. That's what turned me on. That's why I'm so excited. And I don't know what your dream is, but I hope you're a good one. The dream never dies, just the dreamer. And when we got over to Italy, we hit Milan, took 7.5 hours. Like Pete said, the first thing you do is go to sleep. But we didn't listen to him. We didn't go to sleep. We hired a limo, all right? He took us all around Milan. We toured every place. We enjoyed it, came back, dead tired, then we went to sleep. First, we had a nice Italian meal. Like Pete said, the food over there is unbelievable. And then we got the next day, we toured Milan again. And then the third day, we went over to Venice. Now, a lot of our dreams in this business have become a reality. A lot of you know that. I've heard us speak in the last few years. And I had one more dream that had to become a reality. I don't know if you know what that was, but my dream was to make love to my wife in the gondola in Venice. With the singers singing Amala Femina and playing the accordion. That was my dream. So when we get to Venice, I'm looking around, okay, they took us over on the taxi, and it's all in the water, Venice. You can't go anywhere by not going over bridges, but going in the water, taking a water taxi. So one night I walked up to the guy and says, how much is the gondola ride? And he started saying this, and that. I said, all right, how much with the singer? And he started saying this, and I said, well, how much with the accordion player? It was 350,000 lira. I says, okay, Diane, in the gondola. Paid the guy 350,000 lira, and we took a ride in the gondola under the stars with the moon at 10 o'clock at night. It was the most beautiful thing you ever saw in your life, just like in the movies. I don't know, maybe I'm a romantic type of individual, or whatever it may be, but it was something special. And then I started to fool around with the wife. And the guy said, no fool around on my boat, he says. I said, why? I said, you want a nice tip? Turn your head. And we had a great time for about 45 minutes. They took us all in between all the buildings and all, and it was super. And the next day, well, I'm not going to tell you the end of that story, but the next day, we then took a taxi over to Murano. And when we came back, we had trouble getting off the boat, getting into Venice. The lanes were backed up because the night before they had tables. thousands of tables lined up in the street and in the square. I said, Daniel, what are they going to have, a party tomorrow or something? Or, well, you know, there's 1,000 tables. What are you going to do with all these things? So when we finally got off the boat, we finally found out why. The whole square got flooded. We were walking on tables all through Venice. What a feeling. You talk about doing something different. It was unbelievable. And then, of course, every night we went to dinner. Every restaurant we went to was even better than the previous one. And every night, of course, you had to have tiramisu. How many people ever had tiramisu? Made the right way. Oh, my God. The fibrillations were going boom, 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 boom. So I had to pop another pill occasionally. But we were having time. We were having fun. So all of a sudden, we went from Venice. We stood there 3 days. We went over to Florence. And we got there, we had 3 suitcases. When we left Florence, we had 5. And we spent 3 days in Florence on the Vecchio Bridge. We went to Peter Palace. The sights there are unbelievable. Peter can tell you, Barbara, Pete Cook, all the ones that have been there. Barones, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous place. I mean, the history behind all of this here, a month wouldn't even do it justice. That's how great it is. The time that we had, and to do and come and go as we please. And before we just left Italy, we had gotten a check in that I wasn't even aware of or expecting. It was called a founder's bonus. She had a good time at that check. A very good time. So when we left Florence, after 3 days of Florence, and stopping every shop, we bought 27 pair of gloves. I mean, leather gloves. They got leather over there like you wouldn't believe. 4 leather jackets, 3 suits. This is one of them. An overcoat, 4 ski outfits. I go on and on. That's why we came home with 7 suitcases. They were this big. We had to take 2 cars to take us to the airport because they couldn't fit all the suitcases in there. That's having a dream. That's fun. That's doing things you want to do and not worrying about where the dollar was coming from. And all we wanted was $200 a month in this business many years ago. A little stinking $200 a month. Just imagine what you can do when you got some bigger dreams. And then we went over to Rimini and we had our 3-day weekend. And we spoke with the Italians over there in Rimini. And by the 2nd day, boy, they took to us, and we took to them, and the love was flowing, and the friendship, the music, it was unbelievable. Then they had the party on Saturday night. What'd you say? So it was the wine too, the vino. I didn't want to say that with Peter's here, but the vino was flowing. But it was a happy time. After the meeting was over, okay, they all went down to dinner, and they kept holding Diane and I back. And they wouldn't let us come down to the dinner area. We had to go down these flight of stairs, and I guess for about 10 minutes they kept us busy. And then they finally took us down. And no sooner we got down there was a big, beautiful, okay, the music was blasting and they were playing, and someone was singing New York, New York. And they were dedicating it to us. You talk about filling up, man, and feeling about people. And then the next one was starting to fight for the mic, and because we told them the gondola story, making love with the gondola, they sang Mala Femina. Then the next one started the fight for the mic. Everyone wanted to sing then. Okay? Then the next sang My Way. So we got up and kept dancing at every song. And they just got right in with us. They thought we were the type of people that was down to bring. And just had a wonderful time. And then we went over to Rome for 4 days. 4 of the most beautiful days I think I'll never forget. And the first day that we ever got to Rome, Franco, who was here in the States, you remember Franco, right?
Yeah.
And he says, Sandy, please, no cut the language, no cut the words. In other words, stop trying to talk Italian. Simple as that, right? So first he says, you must. I don't want to hear you say no. I won't take no for this. You must come to my house tonight for dinner. I said, no, Franco, we don't want to impose on you. In fact, take your wife and we'll take you out to dinner. So he talked me into it. We finally went to his house for dinner, and she made a fantastic meal. 2 types of spaghetti and mozzarella and fresh tomatoes and a salad, and you couldn't, just gourmet. A little vino on the side. And before we were ready to leave, she was such a gracious host. His wife's name was Carmen, but she didn't speak any English. So he was translating what we were saying to her and so on. And she liked us, and we brought her a nice little gift. We brought the daughter a gift. You know, he does things like that. And when we left, she gave us a jar of jelly jam. It looked so beautiful. So by this time, my wife was feeling great, because she was starting to speak Italian, starting to understand a little bit, 8, 9 days in Italy, and what she had read and what she had played the tapes. So she says, isn't that jam? She was trying to talk to Carmen in Italian. Hey, I'm getting excited now. Somebody, so jam, so she's trying to talk, said, Santo Zezima? I said, no zucker, which is sugar, because I can't have sugar. She said, dessert. So she said, oh, so she said, okay. Well, I know she wants to find out what's in it, what kind of preservatives are in it. She says, well, she's trying to think of the word for preservatives. Preservatito? And Carmen said, start laughing. And Franco says, no, I don't think so. We don't usually put condoms in our jelly. She's smart out of course. She had mastered the language, right? She's a character, you know. But that's what life is all about. Not worrying about, but having a good time. We only got one time around. And I got to tell you one more story, because I got a million of them, but I can only tell you one or two more, because then she's got a bunch of great slides to show you. Tell you about Monsignor Fellini. Now, when we got there, Franco says, would you like to have a meeting with the Pope? I said, yeah, Franco, set it up, because we didn't have no tickets. Usually everything is done well in advance. We want to have a meeting with the Pope. He said, okay. Luisa, who was here with Georgia, Luisa has a friend who has a connection, We get you in on Wednesday. I said, fine, get me in on Wednesday. All right? So every night, they took us, after dinner, they took us to the highest spot in Rome. The highest point in Rome, overlooking the whole city. And we would drink cappuccino to 2 or 3 in the morning and then talk about the business. This is the type of atmosphere and feeling you would have. And they just were soaking it all up. We were having fun with them. And we were set up to go with the Pope and meet with them on Wednesday. So this was Monday night. On Tuesday morning, we got a phone call. I didn't get to bed until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And on Tuesday morning, we got a phone call. And the guy at the desk says, I got somebody on the phone. He doesn't speak any English. But we got an appointment to see the Pope. Now, this guy we had met on the street Monday morning when we were shopping with Franco. His name was Vito. He didn't speak any English, but he was a psychiatrist. He had sponsored 23 people the first month in the business. Wow. That's how on fire they are in this business over there. They are cooking. So Vito says to me, to Franco, would I go over to help him talk to Monsignor Fellini? He's the first secretary to the Pope. Now, the Pope has 5 secretaries, but he's the number 1. So I said, yeah, don't worry about it. What's the worst you say? No, set it up, we'll help you. I went back to do what I was going to do. We're having fun. Well, that Tuesday morning, I said, guy called from the lounge area downstairs. He says, somebody here to see you. Got a meeting with you at the Pope. I said, no, that's tomorrow, Wednesday. No, he's here now. I said, Diane, get dressed, go downstairs. She listens to me. She got dressed, went downstairs. And sure enough, it was this guy Vito had set up the appointment with Monsignor Fellini, and we had an appointment with him at 9 o'clock. This was 8 o'clock, he had us. So we got dressed real quick. I cleaned up, shaved real quick, shot over there to Monsignor Fellini. And we got into Vatican City, where most people don't even get into Vatican City. And we saw where all the nuns lived, the cardinals and the bishops. It was fantastic. And the artwork that was done in all the buildings when you're inside. So we finally meet with Monsignor Fellini, because he wants me to help him, because he needed that little bit of encouragement. Here he is, a psychiatrist, sponsored 23 people, his first one in the business, and he's looking for encouragement, right? Anyway, when we get there, guess what? Monsignor Fellini does not speak English, and he doesn't understand English. So I'm sitting there, not doing nothing, the whole time. And Vito goes through the whole plan, he did a great job for all he needed, and wanted was a little bit of support. Just like you may want or need sometime. And you'll have that with the IDA organization and the leadership that's in this room. You got it at your beckoning call. If you don't use it, you are, well, I can't say what but you are foolish not to use the talent and the knowledge that you have in this room. And my wife's got a story to tell you. It won't take long, maybe another 10 minutes, and we'll wrap it up. And you might see a guy with black hair in there that might look like me. Or a gal that's a little skinny that might look like my wife, or you might even see some other people in those slides that you might recognize. But it's our story. It's a story where we had started many, many years ago for $200 a month. And we're in this wonderful business that brought us today. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
I know that in the slides, when you see them, there are some people that are missing. And I feel real bad about that. Mainly it's New England, and it's only because I don't have slides of you guys. Otherwise, you'd be there. But today, I'm going to tell you a story. And it could be a biography, or it could be a fairy tale. That depends on you. But once upon a time, in a land far away, A long time ago, there lived an ordinary couple. They lived on an average street. They had an average family and an average backyard. And they did average things with their spare time. They associated with average friends and relatives, and they went on average vacations to ordinary places. Once in a while, they went out when one of their relatives got married and invited them to the wedding. They worked hard and they saved their money so that they could buy a pool for the kids to play in or a bike at birthday time. But then one day, they heard about the Amway business, and they were told that they could make lots of money and change their lifestyle. So they got involved. They called some friends, they had some meetings, and they began to dream of bigger things. They met some very nice people who were definitely above average. They began to associate with successful people from all over the world. They met their upline and some other very special people. They shared ideas. It's okay if you laugh at the handle. And they learned from all of them. They enjoyed what they were doing. They had picnics when no one had to cook. They went on weekends where they played games like children again. And they kept having more meetings and began making more money. They dreamt of a bigger house, one that wasn't average. They wanted a bigger pool for the kids to swim in. They started to drive better cars. And they began to do things with their spare time that wasn't average anymore. That's rich. Soon they realized that they could get together with some friends and take a lifestyle trip to an exotic vacation place that they had heard of but had never been to, like Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Italy, the Bahamas, and Peter Island. Boy, they were having fun. They ate in fine restaurants, and they began to enjoy gourmet foods. They liked this kind of lifestyle. So they went home and they worked some more. They got involved, and they began to give a little back to others less fortunate. They discovered that if they added a few more teammates and built a little bit bigger business, they could gain from each other something called personal growth. So they began to seek out the most successful people that they could find. And they believed even more. But it wasn't all fun. There were tears too. Some were tears of joy and some were tears of growth. But because of their upline leadership, they began to dream even bigger. They dreamt of shopping in fine stores, with friends, in big cities, all over the world. They knew if they could just get in that Amway, then they could make it on the yacht. They could be treated like royalty, and they could enjoy the finer things in life. It would be a lot better than the vacations they used to take with their neighbors before. They went to Niagara Falls in January, they went to Puerto Rico in February, and then they went to Diamond Club. They had lunch with some close friends at Rich and Jay's house. They saw the best live shows and entertainment. In fact, they could be part of the show if they wanted to. They began to travel more. They went to exciting places at different times of the year because they didn't have a boss to tell them when they could take a vacation. They learned well. They read some books, listened to some tapes, talked to some people, and they knew if they associated with positive people and sold some more of that soap, then they could spend time enjoying the private, uncrowded beaches of the world. So, in their metallic years, with silver in their hair, gold in their teeth, and lead in their pants, they retired to a honeymoon cottage built for two. In the summer, they had breakfast outside in the veranda, and in the winter, they relaxed in their condo in Florida. But unlike most older folks, they stayed excited, and they kept dreaming, because they had something wonderful to look forward to. Yes, they found the magic formula, the IDA team, and Amway. What their sponsors told them was true. There is a bigger, brighter future anytime you want it. There is no dream too big and no dreamer too small. You can explode to success far greater than your imagination. Success is to be able to spend your life in your own way. And so, here they are, living happily ever after. God bless. Bye-bye.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond Direct Distributors, Sandy and Diane Zezima.
This is the view. And they have a program for people that want exercise. You can split wood. Wow, that's nice close up.
Sandy and Diane Zezima.
Good morning. I don't know about you, but I sat there, and they showed pictures like this when we were growing in the business, and my reaction was, who cares? I don't need to do that. I can go on my own. The reason I wanted to go was because they said, I only care if I'm not there. They're not going to go without me. And that's what you need to do. You need to not, it doesn't matter if you're there. It matters if you're not there. And that's what you have to plan on. They didn't tell you two things about the Q12 trip that were very, very important to me. And number one was they had the very best cookies. I mean, they gave me a lot of food. They had the best cookies on every corner that I had ever tasted in my life. It was great. And the second thing that was very important to me, because this is why I got into business. I didn't get into business to take the trips and to make the friends and to go on the weekends. I got into business to make some money to buy some things for my house and my kids. And the thing that goes along with the Q12 is the thousands and thousands of extra dollars that they didn't tell you they all got when they went on that trip.
It's kind of like a fantasy land when they go to a place like that. It kind of reminds me of a poor man is not he who's without a cent, but he who's without a dream. See, the dream never dies, just the dreamer. And if you ask people who are nets, triple nines in this business, founders of IDA, what key ingredient you would need to build this business and take it to whatever height you want would be the dream. Grab onto a dream. That gives you the reason to do the business. You don't have a dream if you don't have a reason to do the business. And it's so simple when you know how. You got leadership in this organization, second to none. Get the how to. You find out the why, and why is the dream. And the rest will fall into place. And you'll be on these trips. We want you on it. We need you. It makes it better for us. Have a great weekend.
Welcome for Dick and Marianne Carley.
Well, I'm very excited to welcome all of you this weekend. I've just been so excited about this weekend, and it's mostly because Andre and Francois are one of my most favorite speakers in the whole world of Amway. When we first got in business, we had them for a family meeting.